What's a SASCADU? It's a safe and sound Casita accessory dwelling unit.
Safe and sound Casitas accessory dwelling units are designed to resist fires, earthquakes, tornadoes, floods, and pests. These accessory dwelling unit kits are between 180 and 1,000 square feet, and these units are designed and built in southern Utah. After constructing these and building these, if they're a larger unit, they're cut down into more pieces that can be assembled and seamed together in place and are oftentimes craned into place once they reach your location. You can either show up with a trailer or we can help arrange shipping. But we started this with building what we call SASCADU 1. What we're going to do is we're going to introduce to you the first unit that we built start to finish. We'd done other projects. We'd worked on hangars and all sorts of different things. But this is the first home. We decided to go all out, do a large custom home. As you can see, the footings here are bigger than a typical footing for a regular house. That's because they're going to handle more weight, and they're actually going to be there's more going on top of this, where there's 2.5, almost kind of 3 levels for the home that we built, the custom house. And you can see how the dowels, or the rebar, number 4 rebar, we had to drill into that with a 5/8 inch drill bit. And in that process, every so many inches, depending upon what the engineers are asking for, we went through and we placed those dowels, which is basically the number 4 rebar. Can you use bigger rebar? Yes, you can use number 5 rebar or even bigger, but I don't recommend adding more unless you absolutely need it. Maybe you get hit by tornadoes all the time or something, then you can step things up like that. But check with your engineers. Always check and make sure that you're not doing something that doesn't work. Otherwise, just stick to the plan that they've given you. So you see how we actually tie the walls into the footings. So that happens because you want that insulation, the polystyrene expanded foam, you want that to go all the way down to the footing. And that gives you another level of insulation, and it makes it higher efficiency for your heating, cooling costs, and everything else as far as maintaining temperatures inside that structure. These are covered. You can see this, the temporary supports that we used. We cover them with plastic, and then we remove that after shooting it, of course. And then the flooring is what ties these walls in together to the footing. And so the engineers are going to make sure that you're actually drilling them deep enough, and they're going to make sure that they're blown out or brushed out, so that when you put the dowels or that rebar down into those holes, that they're going to, they're going to actually hold like they need to. And you're using epoxy to do that. If you're wondering what kind of epoxy, it's Set XP is probably the stuff that your engineer is going to spec or require for it. But anything on a 2-story structure, to give you an idea, is going to require all the floors, then the walls, then the ceilings, and you're doing it kind of in phases. Can you do the walls and the ceilings in the same day? It depends on how small that structure is. These little casitas, it's a possibility, but definitely reach out to us if you have questions about that. You can see the Shotcrete there and how that works. The smoother you can get these walls with, be it trowel or shooting it with Shotcrete, the smoother you can get it on the front side, the easier it's going to be to finish them later. So obviously, once the basement or the main level, the first level is done, then you can go up to the next level if you are doing a second level. We are doing all of our systems, all of our units, all of our SASCADU units with the same roofing, because what's it profit you if you build a incredibly structurally sound unit, but then you have a wood roof? So you're only as strong as your weakest link. And for that reason, we kept everything solid throughout the entire thing. So your 8-inch walls throughout these units. So keep that in mind. You're going to see the metal itself is going to be 6 inches, but by the time you add an inch on each side of that with the screed bar, if you're doing a level 2 construction, you can see our diagram that shows level 2 up to level 5 has at least 2 inches of Shotcrete or cement on the outside. We don't do level 1. We don't recommend it. But as you can see, you can kind of see all of the different pieces coming together with this construction, pouring a floor, to creating the footings for things like your beams and your posts for the back decks. And so we ended up going in and adding, of course, we increased the size of the deck. We increased the size of just different aspects of the house. And we changed things along the way as we went through it. And then we ended up plastering. So you can do sheetrock, and you can use a sheetrock glue to glue the sheetrock with that glue to the cement walls, which works great. We decided to go in and skim coat the walls. Again, the smoother those shotcreted walls are, the easier it's going to be to finish them later. As you can see in this house, we did a 35 foot atrium. This is not what we're building with SASCADU. SASCADU are the smaller units. We feel it's important to get as many of these in the hands of homeowners and property owners as possible. So we're doing the small Casita or ADU style units. And the thing to keep in mind is if you want less work, then purchase the unit that literally fits on the trailer in its entirety. Purchase one of the units that's about 10 feet wide and just longer. They can get longer because the trailers get longer, but the second you start actually splitting it up and doing something larger than the 10, 11, 12 foot wide units, it gets harder to do an oversized load, and transporting into place gets to be kind of difficult. So you can see exactly what it's like having no attic spaces, which is really, really exciting, really actually cool to have. You can see the entry and the atrium there. But yeah, we pushed the limits on just about everything so that we could know exactly what it takes to do this and help folks get what they're looking for. We can do custom units. We extended the decks. There's just so many different things that we did purposely trying to learn and understand all these little intricate details that when they come together, it makes it really impressive. In-suite bathrooms and laundry rooms and really cool loft spaces and things like that. So a lot of things are possible. We're just not building the larger units right now, and that could be a possibility down the road. But for right now, everything is these smaller units. And there's kind of what it was going to be what we were going to make it look like in the beginning, and then there's what the actual finished product was. We have one from the back side as well that you can see the back side of the house, which was the walkout basement side. But folks, don't forget that when you're having these set, you want to make sure that you have the space for it. You want to make sure that you've gone through the permitting process and impact fees and things like that. And depending upon the size, you might want a small enough unit to where you don't have the same fees and the same requirements for permits. Some people want to stay under 200 square feet or right at that spot because maybe the permitting is a lot easier. Check with your local municipality and make sure that you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's. Yes, you can purchase one of these and put it on your property and have it sit sometimes. But that's all things that you have to kind of determine. Some of these units are smaller and it's not a big deal. A lot of people like to purchase multiple units and put them together and connect them with a breezeway and a actual roof that connects two different units, giving more rooms. Sometimes your kitchen will be in a separate unit from your other unit. So we recommend purchasing multiple units rather than building a really large unit, because it means less work for you once it gets in place and your contractors. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. SASCADU is here. Our team is ready to help wherever we can. But if you go to SASCADU.com and input your information there, it'll shoot us an email. We'll connect and do one of these phone consultations. And we're excited to get to know everybody that's interested. Once again, we're building these for people that feel the need to actually have something disaster ready. So thank you so much, and we look forward to connecting with you.